Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today is Ryan and Mai's wedding anniversary, so I'm going to be making a MemoryDex card using the kikki.K Ultimate Gift Wrapping Book. So if you want to see how I made this, then just keep watching. Alright, so I've already gone ahead and printed out a couple of photos with my Sprocket. I'm going to start off with a piece of plain white cardboard, and we're going to do a slightly different kind of MemoryDex today. So I'm just going to start off by folding this in half, which is going to confuse you, but I promise it's so worth it. So I could get my scoreboard out. I don't really want to. But I am going to use my scoring tool just to give that a really good, crisp kind of fold. And I'm going to grab my dies. So I'm just going to grab this one. And what I'm going to do is have it so it's a die that, like a card that actually opens up. So because this is actually the absolute perfect shape, because I can but I can have the top of the die actually sitting just off, and because it's going to sit on the actual top of the cardboard, I know it's going to be straight. So I'm just grabbing some washi tape just to hold this down as it goes through the die machine. So I'm just washing that down. I'll grab the cuts machine in and just run this through. So you're just making sure that that cutter is not on the top, which it actually is. How the heck did that happen? This is why I check. So I'm just going to give that another shot, and I'm probably going to give it a little bit more now, just a little bit more space, just to make sure that it's definitely not on there. So now you can actually see there's a little gap, like a very skinny, but there is a gap there. So run that through, and I'm going to run it through back and forth a couple of times because we are going through 2 bits of cardboard. See? How cool is that? I love that, and I'm so going to use this for different things along the way. Now I'm not putting my DIY cuts away yet, or the die, because I am going to use them a little bit more. So I did promise you guys that I would use this, and I'm going to use the Always and Forever collection, which is in here. So I'm going to use this bit of paper with the dark and the light spots. And I feel really, 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 really horrible for pulling this out of the book, because it was perfect until right that second. And then I was going to use the envelopes, but now because I'm using this folding up way, I don't have to. I might use a couple of those hearts. I'm just making sure there's no other pattern paper in here that I want to use. I might use those spots if I run out of paper. So to cover up, so for the front bit, I want the front bit to be the dark grey, and this is where it's actually going to work really nicely because this is just the right amount of cardboard of paper. So I want the outside to be the dark grey, and I want the insides to be the light grey. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm going to do the big side first, I'm going to cut it the exact same way I just cut this one. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer. I'm going to fold this in half, same way we just did with the cardboard. So I want this to fit just like exactly inside, just like the last bit did. So I'm going to sit it in the exact same spot, just with a little gap there, and I can always trim off the excess if there is any. Grab that washi tape again, and we'll run that through. I'm also going to run through the other side with just the dark, just the single piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of them, and I'll be right back. So I've got all of my shapes cut out. Now I can start kind of putting this together. So like I said, this bit here is going to be on the outside. I'm just pulling that off. It'll be a little bit too tall, but we'll trim that off so it'll be fine. So it's going to sit there like that, and I'll just trim off that tiny bit of excess on the top. This one I'm a little bit more, worried's not the right word, but oh no, I did a good job. Excellent. Don't you love when you do a good job of something? So I'm going to go ahead and stick this all down. I'm going to do this, like this part here, because it's going to fold over. There may be a little bit of excess that I've got to cut off, but I'll make that work. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick all of this down just with some glue tape. So I'm going to do this side first. Yep, no, I'm just making sure I wanted the white. Now this is where a liquid glue may have been a better option. So then you got a little bit more give, but I think I'm okay. So I've got one side down and that's pretty much dead on. And do the same thing on this side, just flip it around so that I've got the I'm just going to stick it down and cut off the excess, because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here forever, and we'll just make sure that that's the top bit. So that's the bottom, that's the front, and that'll work. So I'm just going to really quickly just cut off the excess. Got washi tape left on here. There's not really very much, so that's why I'm doing it with my scissors and not with the die or anything. And I'm not going to worry about the notches because they're not really required. Just a little bit on this one. You guys know how much I hate cutting round bits. Okay, so I'm going to grab my score tool back in again because I need to give this another really good scoring. There we go. And there we have our little, oh, that actually looks really cool. And then we're going to put this on the top as well. So this is going to make it a super thick. And I could do the same thing here. I could use liquid glue, but I'm just going to use glue tape again. But I am going to put a ton of glue on just like we did before. It's not completely perfect, but it'll be fine. So let's cut off that excess. Just be really careful if you are doing the excess at the top, just that you don't accidentally cut the cardboard, because that would ruin all your hard work. All right. Now, like I said, there's a teeny tiny little bit of white I can see. I don't think I'll actually end up noticing it, so I think it's all right. So I'm going to start sticking on my photos. So I'm just trying to work out where I want to put them. I was kind of thinking, I don't know, I kind of thought this would be a little bit smaller than it was, but that's all right. I'm going to trim this a little bit. And it's only going to be a tinsy little amount. I'm just going to grab the trimmer in just so that it's straight. So I'm seriously cutting off maybe ½ centimetre, not even that. And it's just because I want this to sit in the middle, but I want it to sit sort of inside that space. So I'm going to put it like that, and then I'm going to put the date down the bottom on a banner. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on. This actually has, this is my favourite thing about the Sprocket sometimes, it's actually got adhesive on it, so I don't have to add glue tape to it. I can just stick it straight down. It is a pain to get up though, so just make sure it's down and it's where you want it. So then to put the numbers in, I'm just going to see what this looks like before I decide I'm going to write it in by hand. So I'm just grabbing my pumice stone Distress Oxide. I'm grabbing this stamp and like number and letter stamp set. I think I bought this from Kmart. It was a really long time ago. I just want to see what the, yeah, no, it's too light. I was going to see what the pumice stone looks like on the grey. Also just going to try my Kaisercraft. This is called, whoops. Going to clean this off and then try that again. This one's called Smoke, and it's a little bit darker. Yeah, that might work. So I'm going to use Smoke, and I'm just going to put the date on there, which was just the 13th of November. So I'm just going to stamp in the 11 first for November, and then do the 18 and the 13 either side. So I want this to look kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not perfect or off center or not straight. So I don't mind if it kind of doesn't look perfect. So I've got the 11, the 13, and then the 18. Where's the 8? There it is. Then we can start on the inside, I think. The inside, I think. I'll come back, actually. I'm just going to grab a grey. I'm just going to put in just a couple little dashes, just so it looks like it's actually a date. And then we'll start on the inside. So I'm going to put at the top this picture of our, that was the whole family. And then I'm going to put this one at the bottom. And I'm going to try something. So this is something that I've had in my collection forever. This is a rub-on, and I don't actually know if you can still get rub-ons or not. I think you can, but I'm not sure. So I want to have that one sitting there, and that one maybe sitting down there like that. Now I'm just noticing, and it's just going to bug me. I'm just grabbing my glue pen. I've just missed a little bit with the glue, so I'm just going to tuck that down and then just grab an acrylic block just to hold it still while I'm playing around here. So I want that to sit at the top, and I want to put the always. Was in my vows, but it's also, if you've been hanging around here long enough, you know I'm a Harry Potter fan, and so it's come from that. And I don't know how it'll go on the Sprocket paper, which is why I'm a little wary to try it, but I'm going to give it a go. Because if worse comes to worse, I'll cover it up and print out another Sprocket, so it'll be fine. So I'm going to put the one of the whole family at the top first. Now you could journal if you didn't want to stick photos in. I want to put photos in because I want to have sort of more of a visual kind of reminder of it. But obviously either or would work. I want to have that one sitting, and I'm just being cautious of where the notches are, because obviously I don't want to get in the way. So I'm just removing the adhesive on there as well. And I'm deliberately putting these not straight. I don't want them to sit straight. Although I'm just looking at that one at the top and realizing that these are both on the same angle, and just wondering if I can pull that one up yet still. I haven't tried pulling up Sprocket ones before. No, not going to do that. Too solid. So for the rub-on, what you want to do, and I'm going to steal this one out because I think it'll be easier. You want to put it down where you want to put it. Actually, that's going to end up not having too much on the Sprocket ink anyway, so it'll be fine. I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape just to hold that still while I rub it on. So just a tinsy bit. That'll hold that down. Now the best way to do this is either with a scoring tool or a pop stick. I'm just going to use the scoring tool because I've got it out, and it's not a gentle rub, it's a little harder than gentle, but you'll be able to see. I'm just going to grab another bit of washi tape. So you'll be able to see as I scratch this or rub on it, the dark kind of comes away. So you'll see it goes from that dark to kind of a little lighter, and that means you've rubbed it off the plastic and onto the paper, which is what you want to do. So you just want to rub all the way along until you see it come off, and that's sort of your indication that you've got a good transfer. Here's the moment of truth when you pull it up and hope that it's transferred. Oh no! It's alright, you won't notice it. Be a bit more gentle with this side. Perfect! Oh, that actually looks really cool. I love that. I love rub-ons. I don't know why they've gone out of fashion, but I think they're awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to really quickly, I just want to write in a couple of little things. Like I just want to put in like where the wedding was. So I'm just going to put in Flardy's Beach. Then I'm going to jump back into the gift wrapping book. Just see if I can remember what kind of stickers and stuff they had. Now, this does have some rose gold bits to it as well. I'm not opposed to putting that in there because I think the rose gold will actually look really nice with the grey, which is obviously what it's designed to do anyway. I might just put a couple of the... I don't know if there are any stickers. Oh, no, there wasn't. There's a tag there. Oh, no, some stickers here. So, I'm going to grab this circle one that says forever. I'm going to put that just there at the top. I'm going to let it overhang just a little bit. And then I'm actually going to, just to add in a little bit more rose gold, I'm just grabbing a couple of the little dots. These actually are the dots, I think they're supposed to be full stops from the sticker, letter stickers, number stickers, letter stickers, and use those as the dots instead of, or the dashes instead of the little ones that I drew in there with pen, just so we add a little bit more of the rose gold. And then need something else. I'm kind of gonna destroy my sticker a little bit, but it's alright. I just really want the heart in the middle. I don't want the round bit on the outside. So I'm just gonna alter my sticker. It's still going to be a circle, or circle-ish, but it's just going to be just the heart without the rose gold around the outside. Go. I'm not going to try and fix this little bit here at the top, just because I think if I do any more, I'm going to start not damaging it, but it's just not going to quite work. So I think I'm going to leave it just like that. I mean, I kind of find with my MemoryDexes, I either do just images or just, it's mainly just images. I very rarely use words, and it's because I really do want them to be that visual kind of medium. But I love that this one I've been able to kind of make it a little bit more, make it a bit bigger. It's still not, like, it's not perfect by any stretch, but it's very different. I like the kind of opening thing. And then to just show you sort of what it would look like in here, I'll also show you on my the Rollerdex one, because I think that'll look really cool as well. Like, obviously you've got it, it'll just sit in there and it'll just look like the one, but then I know that I've got extra bits on the inside and I can just open them up. And then if you did want to put it on the Rollerdex one, which at the moment I'm keeping empty, but you could easily put that up there. So you've got it up there on the top. Really easy to then open it up. Just the front bit, leave the back bit on the back. It is easy. It will be once you sort of get going. And you can see it a little bit easier sort of on that one. So there we go. We've got a Rollerdex or a MemoryDex card to celebrate Ryan and Mai's anniversary. We're not doing anything special. We're having a nice night in tonight, I think. But it's a cool way to kind of, like, the idea of the MemoryDex is exactly that, to keep memories and stuff. And that's definitely a memory of one of the best days of my life. So let me know what you thought of this one. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and make sure you're subscribed. If you want to see me use the MemoryDex in any other way, let me know, and I'm happy to experiment a little bit more with them. I do really enjoy playing with them, so it's definitely something I'm happy to do. Don't forget to check out the playlist with all my other MemoryDex cards, because I have done a few in the last couple of months. So if you want to see, I'll link the MemoryDex playlist down below for you. Other than that, guys, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!